We love spending this time with you. Thank you for listening. If you would like to take your listening experience to the next level, did you know there's a way to do that, J-Bo?
I do.
Yep, you know how you do it. You go to thetjshow.com, you sign up for the TJ Show newsletter, and you get cool things dropped right into your inbox, like the TJ Show's 10 shares. We pick 10 different things, everyone on the team does it, that we think you're going to love. It's not just about our show. This is about like stuff, music we're listening to, whatever it may be.
Like life stuff.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole lot more in there. Sign up at thetjshow.com. This is the TJ Show, our news. It sounds different around here. Kenny reads through every story he can find, and then he brings us the most interesting ones. Kenny, what's happening on the planet today?
The Columbia Inn restaurant in Montville, New Jersey is known for their thin crust pizza, and now they're taking their dough on the road. See what I did there?
Are you laughing at how he presented that? Yeah.
Have you? So obvious. That's why I'm laughing.
Have you ever considered being on television news?
Yeah, sure.
You'd be great at it.
I would love that opportunity.
And now they're taking their dough on the road.
That was a good one. Come on. All right. Well,
why are they taking their dough on the road?
They're doing it an interesting way. So they're taking food truck to a whole other level. The New York Post is telling us about this. They're using Tesla Cyber trucks as their new food truck operation.
That's cool.
Yeah, one of the owners of the restaurant says she's quick and fast and has enough power to cook a pizza in about 2 minutes. And they do that using these high-powered electric conveyor belt ovens that can heat up to 600 degrees, and they plug it into the 240-volt outlet in the cargo bed of the truck.
Is that the top tier of the Cybertruck? Did Elon work that into the fabric of the hood, or where is that?
No. So I think the Cybertruck comes with that outlet, but this company did have to make some customizations in order to make this like a realistic thing.
It sounds like somebody wanted to own a Cybertruck and was like, you know what? It's a company car now. That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, you got to ask these questions too, because Elon's constantly throwing new things in these cars. It's like, yeah, why wouldn't it have a pizza oven in it?
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a good add-on. The owner says he gets a lot of reactions to the truck. 70% are positive. 30 say they don't like the truck, but he says nobody's dissing the pizza, so that's good news for him.
That's what matters.
He said the best compliment I ever got was that the truck looks like a dumpster. He went on to say, she's ugly, but she gets it done like nobody's business.
Well, raccoons think the same thing. Remember, there's a story about raccoons that were scraping the glass of the Cybertrucks because they thought they were dumpsters.
Yeah, no,
They're trying to get in.
I hear that. I also, when I find one on the roads, which has become a rare thing, but I see him every once in a while, I'm like, whoa, it's a pretty cool looking thing, whatever that is.
It's huge.
Yeah, it looks like, it almost reminds me of a flatbed truck that they designed into this something else vehicle that hasn't been before.
It looks like a photo that a kid draws up in when they're like 6 years old.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is my truck, mommy. Here you go. Elon Musk turned into a Cybertruck.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Kenny.
what's pretty interesting, they say they can cook pizza for about 8 hours and still have enough battery to drive 50 miles to get back to, I guess, the restaurant.
I believe it. What else do you have?
Have you heard of the Chase Bank glitch?
No.
This is a tough one. It's going viral. You have videos of people who are essentially writing bad checks, entering them into a Chase ATM machine, and then before the bank realizes that there's no real money there, they withdraw the money from the ATM.
But it's into their own account?
They're using their own checks, and I guess they're depositing it into their own account.
Does anyone ever think that's going to work, first of all?
Some people.
Right?
And then second of all, like, do you really want to try to get one over on a bank? Like, is that good life planning?
And it's the check that has your information on it into your bank account. The bank is going to catch on to that and stop it. And eventually you're going to owe that money.
Oh, my goodness. People have to get off TikTok
That's
for so
fraud.
many reasons. Yeah, I mean, this is making us lose all of our critical thinking.
So the good news is most of these videos are from influencers discussing how bad of an idea this is. However, there are videos of people flaunting stacks of cash. Also videos of people panicking after noticing that their bank balance is now way in the red because the bank figured out what was up. And Chase has issued a statement saying, regardless of what you see online, depositing a fraudulent check and withdrawing funds from your account is fraud, plain and simple.
Kenny, what else do you have?
Complex News has come up with a list of the 50 greatest cereals of all time. I wanted to see how you guys would do. Can you guess the top 5?
Ooh, that's a good question. All right, well, I would think Honey Nut Cheerios has to be in the top 5.
Definitely Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, that has to be number 1.
For sure.
You guys got the top 2 right there. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is number 1. Honey Nut Cheerios at number 2.
How about that? And those are my 2 favorite cereals.
Captain Crunch?
Nah, that's a dangerous one. We
It
know
is
that.
dangerous because it messes up your teeth
Yes.
and your mouth.
Jambo, you're onto something, but specifically Captain Crunch Crunch Berries comes in at number 3.
Ooh, Lucky
See-
Charms is in there, isn't it?
I think that
Not in the
actually.
top 5.
Oh, man.
I think the Captain Crunch cereal is a very impressive one because people know they're going to get hurt if they eat it, and they
They
still
choose
eat
to
it.
do it, yeah.
I mean, what an endorsement for a cereal.
I will endure for the taste.
Yeah.
Now, they did say greatest of all time. I don't know if they make this anymore, but Oreos, the Oreo Cheerios,
Yeah.
that was number 4.
I prefer regular Oreo
4?
cookies.
And
you
Fruit
kidding me?
Loops came in at number 5.
Oh, I
Fruit
love
Loops
some
should be
Fruit
number
Loops.
4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Fruit Loops.
That's good. All right, well,
I
thank you for
recently
that.
bought a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I don't even eat cereal like that, but I was in the grocery store, I was hungry, and well, that called my name.
Yeah, I have to stay away from it because I can't stop eating it.
Oh my gosh, so much sugar, but I love it.
I could take down a whole box. If I had the box, I would just eat the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I
So I
wouldn't
don't buy
judge
it.
you.
I don't buy it. The last one I had, I think it was 15 years ago, but it was wonderful.
I'll bring you a box.
No, please
Oh,
don't.
yeah, I want to ruin your streak.
Please don't
That's what
do
good
that.
friends do.
You
No.
can have one.
Kenny, what else do you
One
have?
Cinnamon Toast
Just
Crunch?
one
No,
little
come
square.
on. This guy's
Come
dangerous.
on, you have willpower.
Gotta be careful.
TJ, have you ever heard of cardio drumming?
No, but I imagine because it requires a lot of effort to play the drums, maybe it has something to do with that.
Exactly. Yeah. So essentially, it's a workout class where you place an exercise ball in like a spackle bucket, and then you whack it with drumsticks to the beat of a song to burn calories, relieve stress, and also strengthen the bones and foster community, according to this article.
Might as well just play the drums, right?
Well, drums are expensive, maybe. I
That's
don't know.
facts. You gotta pay for lessons too.
You know what? A little hint in the drum world. So many people start to play the drums and then stop, and then they want to get rid of their set. So if you look on the secondhand marketplace, you can find a decent drum set for a decent price.
Now, playing the drums, usually people play those drums sitting down. I believe cardio drumming, you do it standing up.
See, I'm
Yeah.
trying to.
So you're
hit-
engaging the core.
Okay, I want 2 birds with 1 stone. I want to be a musician and get my workout in.
Maybe that's a new idea there, but we're seeing TikTok videos that are getting millions of hits and thousands upon thousands of comments. And one doctor says it's not all about the fitness. There are other benefits too. He said you could tell that they've created an incredible community where all of these women are having an incredible time moving together. And I'm sure that this is going to lead to better self-esteem, more motivation, and probably impact multiple other areas of their life.
I do steering wheel drumming. You ever
Your
try
fingers
that?
get a
Yeah, I do
workout.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
They also said it's a great, safe way to release frustration. And it got me thinking, I've been seeing these rage rooms popping up all over the place. Have you heard of these
Oh, yeah.
rage rooms?
No.
I want to go to one.
I have no idea what that is.
So this is a business where you can, I guess, pay a fee. You go in, they give you like a sledgehammer, a baseball bat, and you just start whacking away at like drywall, lamps. They get you a bunch of junk to break.
TVs, Yeah.
Does that end well? Have you ever been mad at something and you either kick it or whatever and you hurt yourself? Do you really want to go? Then you're more mad.
Well, they give you a bat and like a sledgehammer, so you're not using your hands or
Yeah.
your feet.
I don't know. Some people take like kickboxing or boxing, and they say it's a great way to help them relieve stress
Okay.
in addition to the fitness. So I thought
Good.
this seems like a good idea. Rage rooms seem like a good idea too.
What else do you have, Kenny?
There's a growing trend of solo dining. How do you feel about eating dinner at a restaurant by yourself?
Did it the other night.
I
Don't-
love it.
Don't even think twice. Kind of love the feeling. It's like
Yep.
you just do your thing.
I'm not phased by it.
Yeah, single person reservations are rising 29% at American eateries over the last 2 years, according to Open Table. And this is more than just an American phenomenon. It's all over the globe. The UK, Germany, Japan, all seeing jumps in the last year. And there are several possible factors.
It's also 50 to 250% off the bill.
Well, you just buy yourself.
It's
I
a
like
very,
that bill.
Very good deal.
Good point.
Kenny, what else do you have?
I imagine there's some excitement in the TJ household. The Minecraft movie trailer dropped yesterday. Are your girls excited?
I don't know if they know about it. We'll keep it that way.
Okay.
They do like Minecraft, though.
Yeah.
When they had their iPad still, which no longer do any of my kids have their iPad.
Oh.
Well, there was a little bit of a breach of trust.
Okay.
But, you know, we took care of it. So
Oh, how
there's
long has that been?
a little over a month. Yeah. Yeah, but
Wow.
listen, you know, you got to do what you say you're going to do.
You want to take my phone? Because I can use a break.
Yeah, I know. Adults need like some other. We got to get grandpas hired to just take phones away from us as
Yes,
adults
please.
because we need the same treatment.
So the Minecraft movie, the reaction to the trailer, people are saying it's equal parts goofy and creepy. So it features live action stars. Jack Black's in the movie starring as Steve. It also has Jason Momoa, Emma Myers, Danielle Brooks, Sebastian Eugene, to name a few. So they're real life characters in this CG world that's a slightly more realistic version of the blocky graphics of Minecraft.
Well, sometimes you see these movies at first glance, you go, how great could that be? Next thing you know, Jack Black is nominated for an Oscar.
That's right.
He's done it before, and let's see what happens this time.
Did you know Jack Black's mom was an aerospace engineer?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, she was part of the Apollo space program.
I didn't know that.
That is so interesting.
Look at that. I'd like to see him in
She's
space.
quite the brains, or was quite the brains, and I'm sure he's a smart man as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Kenny, what else do you have?
A family from Brooklyn, New York missed out on their dream vacation, and they're out about $8,500 after their delayed flight from JFK International Airport forced them to miss the departure of their cruise ship in Miami. They literally missed the boat and watched the boat sail away from the dock.
Oh, yeah, that's so frustrating when you have no control over the travel that's getting you to the travel.
Yeah, and the family was celebrating. This was a cruise for celebration. There was a 50th birthday that they were celebrating. The son was heading off to college. The flight was delayed because of an apparent crew issue, and the cruise ship was nice enough to give them a full refund, but the airline not so much. They offered the family an e-credit for a one-way trip worth about $250.
Excuse me, you're the reason why I missed my boat. Like, no, I want a full refund.
You can have a free breakfast sandwich at the local airport cafe.
Absolutely not.
Sorry about that.
So what do you do in that situation? Well, in New York City, at New York's Channel 7 ABC affiliate, they have what they call a segment 7 on your side.
Oh.
So they got to the bottom of it. The airline did eventually issue a full refund and an apology.
Look at that.
It doesn't have to take that. Just do the right thing.
Yep, you need these news reporters. Hey, excuse me, yo, what did you do to this man on your cruise? It is fun. It makes for fun content. We're in a world of constantly creating content.
I love it when the reporters like ambush somebody coming out of their office. They're like, excuse me, sir, do you have a comment on that? And they're like, they try to run to their car. But yeah, they got to the bottom of it.
I've been in a situation where I missed a flight and it was my fault. That feels worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that quite a few times.
Out of pure negligence or, oops, had to go to the bathroom one more time because I didn't want an accident in the aisle on the plane. That is a worse feeling,
Sure.
I'm sure. All right, just trying to make them feel better, but it sounds like they're okay.
Yeah, they're okay now.
Kenny, what else do you have?
You know, people can't stay off their phones even for 1 minute. The MTA in New York City announced that they have installed a new cell network on the 42nd Street shuttle, which connects Times Square to Grand Central Station.
It's a very short run.
It's 0.8 miles. The ride literally lasts 1 minute.
Yeah. Well, all over the nation, we want as much cell service as possible, is what it seems. Because I was in a little cabin deep in the woods in the Poconos not too long ago. And I kind of missed my cell service, even though I like the idea of not having it. When I don't actually have it, it's very concerning.
Yeah.
So it's a hard balance. But they did have Wi-Fi there, and I chose not to connect to it. But I knew it was there if I needed it.
I know I have a cell phone problem. Yesterday, I kept picking up my phone, and I hadn't received a text or a call. And I'm like, I had to ask myself, why am I picking up my phone? Like, there's nothing here for me. And it was excessive. It was a lot.
Yeah, it's our baby bottle.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everything okay out there?
It calms me.
Well, they're calling this a small early first step. The subway system does plan to have cellular coverage for their entire 418-mile network by 2032. The MTA chair said whether it's checking email, answering a phone call, people want to be able to work on the mass transit system. And then she added, we also have to recognize that there are a lot of people who want to play Candy Crush or continue their domestic arguments, and we have to accommodate them as well.
Well, it's very...
Continue their domestic arguments. I think there's more of that than people playing Candy Crush.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and also there was always something peaceful about getting into this place where you knew you couldn't get on your phone. But yeah, it's tough. We're so used to it. Yeah. We I guess, cool that they can do it, right? The technology's getting there. Kenny, what else do you have?
In West Valley, Utah, which is near Salt Lake City, some little kids were running a lemonade stand, and next thing you know, who rolls up? Jelly Roll.
Hey,
rolls
there you
up.
go.
That's what's up.
And the kids were selling lemonade for 50 cents a cup. So Jelly Roll, he had 5 people in the car with him. He bought 5 cups for a grand total of $2.50.
Oh, kicking a little extra?
Jelly Roll, he paid in cash, about $700 in cash, and he told the kids to keep the change.
Wow.
Oh, I was hoping he sang a little something for them. That'd be nice.
I think those kids would rather have the $700.
I think so, too.
And some singing.
Okay,
you know?
sure.
A show and some money.
So this exchange was all captured on video, and you can hear Jelly Roll say, "You keep that tip, okay, baby? You go buy yourself something really nice, all right? Because you worked hard." And one of the moms was just blown away. Who would have thought we would run into Jelly Roll in West Valley and to be so generous to give them a $700 tip? The comments on social media, "This is the way celebrities should act. Thank you for being kind to the kids." Another person saying, "That was so sweet, Jelly. You must have made a huge impression on that little girl, and someday she's going to pay it forward because of what you did. Thank you, and God bless you."
Those kids are going to be so disappointed when they find out other people don't tip that way. They're going to be like, what? No $700 tip?
Kenny, what else do you have?
We're learning about a literal cat burglar in West Yorkshire, England, an actual cat, a 12-year-old black and white cat who's been stealing items of clothing and other things from neighbors' yards and actually even sneaking into people's houses and bringing back treats for its owner.
That's funny. Yeah, if you could train an animal to do that, that's impressive.
Yeah,
Right.
it's gotten to the point where the owner has to post photos of everything the cat brings back and put them on social media so people can reclaim their possessions.
Oh, man.
Cats.
That's work.
They do whatever's fun for them.
That's right.
Kenny, what else do you have?
A couple of lobsters got a second chance at life on Long Island in New York. They are orange lobsters, which are extremely rare. Experts say it's a 1 in 30 million chance that a lobster ends up orange.
Somehow they keep finding them, though. How many times have we heard about the orange lobster?
Yeah, we've done a couple of stories about orange lobsters and blue lobsters, which are more rare.
When I go to restaurants, the lobsters in the tank look orange to me.
I'm with you. It's a very close
Maybe it's
call.
the lighting. I don't know.
Different shade of red.
Yeah, this is interesting how they found this. So about a week ago, there was a story about an orange lobster that was saved from a grocery store in the Hamptons. That media coverage inspired more calls about 2 other orange lobsters, another one at a different grocery store and another one at a restaurant on Long Island.
1 in 30 million? Come on now. More like 1 in 1,000.
Yo, somebody's out there pulling these lobsters out of the ocean and just painting them.
Right.
So the nonprofit Humane Long Island is the group that picked up these lobsters and released them back into the water on the Long Island Sound. The group believes the 3 lobsters may be related because they were all shipped to the different locations around the same time in early July. So
look at
that
that.
might explain why you have 3 orange lobsters in such close
They're
proximity.
brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. That's cool. I'm glad the family's back together in the ocean because sometimes they put them in captivity as like a sight to see in
Sure.
an aquarium. And that's got to be the worst. Here, they have got we found the oldest lobster. He's 103 years old. Throw him back in the water. Why? He
Right.
made one mistake. He got caught
got
in a
caught.
net. Throw him back.
In the
He'll be fine.
103 years, he
Yeah.
got caught.
And to
Yeah.
your point, the fact that we've done these stories before, usually they're picked out of the catch before they ever make it to the live tanks at a store or a restaurant. So it's curious that these lobsters made it that far before they got released.
Very curious story, Kenny.
Thank you. I've been watching a lot of Harry Potter.
What else do you have?
Officials are warning about the growing number of scams involving QR codes on parking meters.
Yeah, it's so hard to know, did somebody put a sticker over the QR code? QR codes just always feel a little too vulnerable for me, even at a restaurant. I'm like, can you just give me a menu, please? I don't want to scan stuff into my phone. I don't know enough about computers.
I like QR code menus for sure, but it's frustrating that I'm used to, scanning a QR code to pay for parking, and now I have to be wary of that. It's like we're just trying to feed our families and take vacation every once in a while. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
There's not much money in the bank. You don't have to scam me. Scam somebody else.
I don't go places because I know I have to park there, and I hate going through downloading an app. Just bring back the quarters, please.
You and
Please.
I pay taxes. Why are we paying for parking? I feel like parking should be a free thing.
J-Bo, I know. I can't even. The amount of times I've been. And then the other day, I put in the wrong car. I wasn't thinking. I was driving my wife's car. And then I got a ticket because I put the wrong license.
Man.
So now I'm currently going back and forth to fight a ticket, even though I really should have just paid it. Like I just
Yeah.
But
it
you
was my
paid
mistake.
to park there, though.
Yes, I paid to park there.
It was a mistake.
I know, but it's just it takes so long to park now.
Yeah,
Yes.
The Federal Trade Commission says instead of scanning that QR code, go directly to the URL associated with whatever it is you're using. A lot of times the QR code will take you to a website that has a slight misspelling. For instance, the legitimate is called paybyphone.com, but this one was POY, P-O-Y, by phone.com.
Yeah.
So
Just to park your car, it's like you have to enter into an escape room. You got
Yeah.
to figure it out. How do you
Yes.
park here successfully and not get a ticket?
Yeah.
Kenny, what else do you have?
the NFL season is here, but things may look a little different on the field. Going into this season, the NFL has approved the use of Guardian caps on players' helmets during the regular season and playoffs.
I saw a picture of this.
Yeah.
So it almost looks like there's an extra layer of foam that is on the outside of the helmet.
Exactly. So it's essentially padding that's in these rectangular squares. It almost looks like soundproofing here in the radio studio, but it goes over the top of the helmet. And the idea is it's supposed to reduce head injuries.
Well, hey,
That sounds great to me.
why not? Right? If that's going to work, it's going to help, whatever. Even if it reduces a little bit of the impact there, I would think that's a good thing.
You hear
Yeah.
so many stories of athletes after they retire, especially football players, of all the concussions they had and how it affects their life and the longevity, their
Yeah.
mortality. So I think it's great.
So I imagine it's being well received.
To some degree, yeah. So this goes back to 2010, and teams have been slowly adopting them. The NFL just this past year required that all players, except for quarterbacks and kickers, wear them in practice, and now they're actually allowed to wear them in games. According to the NFL's data, they reduce the force from head-on collisions by 20% when both players are wearing the device, and by 10% when just one player is wearing it. Also, they're seeing that in practice and preseason, the concussion incidence reporting has dropped by 52%.
That's amazing.
But players say that they're heavy and hot despite weighing less than 7 ounces. Players also don't like how it looks. For instance, we have from the Philadelphia Eagles, Darius Slay saying, "I can't stand them. It impacts my swag. My game is part of my swag. If I ain't looking the part, I can't feel the part."
Sir, if you dead, your swag is not going to matter. If you have a concussion, your swag is not going to matter. This is not a fashion show. This is your health.
Yeah, I think people will get used to it.
Get
at some
over
point.
it.
It's like a seatbelt, right? There was a period of time where no one
You're
wore
right.
them.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, this is annoying. It's like, well, now we just wear seatbelts.
It does look a little weird. People have been concerned that it covers the logo of the team on the helmet, but they actually have printed these things where the logo still shows up. It just looks a little
They'll
funny.
figure it out.
They'll get used to it, I
Yeah.
suppose, eventually.
Kenny, just another sign that people have a hard time with change.
Yeah, I don't like wearing clothes, but I have to, right? It's the law. So
Is that true?
Yeah, I don't.
Trust me, I like
Wait
having
till
my
I
clothes
get
on.
home.
What else you got, Kenny?
This is a really interesting story. So Susie Holland is from Reno, Nevada. She's a 61-year-old grandmother who's facing up to $30,000 in fines after being caught in a sting operation by the Nevada Transportation Authority.
What'd she do?
So this goes to the Burning Man Festival, which ended a couple of days ago. And you may remember last year, burners, attendees of the festival, were stuck because of the weather and the mud, and they actually needed people to go and pick them up to bring them back. Susie did that last year for a friend and then learned that this is common practice. People offer rides to burners. They charge money. They advertise on Craigslist. So she's like, I really like the stories from these guys last year, and I could use a couple of extra bucks. So she puts an ad up on Craigslist and decides to do it this year. Turns out that's illegal.
Oh.
You have to have a certificate to drive somebody, accept money for it, and to advertise for that service on Instagram. So the Transportation Authority in Nevada held this elaborate sting operation.
Wow.
So imagine this woman driving up to the festival to drop some people off, and she's immediately surrounded by black Ford SUVs.
Gosh, Nevada's spending their money on the wrong thing.
Well, they've got a lot of it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they could use those SUVs to cart some people around safely.
Right.
Kenny, what else do you have?
TJ, I know you say you have no interest in going to outer space, but
No.
what if I told you that you could smell like outer space without ever leaving the ground?
Well, the first thought that pops into my head is, how does anyone really know what outer space smells like?
Good thought.
Well, astronauts who come back to Earth claim that outer space has a unique smell.
But aren't they like in a suit?
That's a great question,
So what are they
J-Bo.
smelling? Themselves?
It smells like a plastic.
No, so I don't know where they get this smell from, but according to astronauts, there's a distinct odor. They describe it as a lingering, pungent aroma made up of gunpowder, rum, fruit, seared steak, or a barbecue. And some also compared it to the scent of burnt cookies.
It's a lot like oxygen. That tank on my back.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you smell anything other than the air they're giving you in your spacesuit?
Well, the only thing I could think of, and again, this is my pure speculation, but the fact that they're bringing up gunpowder, maybe like the engines firing from the rocket ship, maybe that somehow can seep in through this spacesuit, and that's what they're smelling? I don't know, though.
And as far as the smell of fruit, seared steak, and barbecue, that's your breath, fam. That was lunch.
Right.
So the reason I bring this up, NASA trains its astronauts. They want them to be prepared for anything and everything they may face in space. So they contracted Omega Ingredients to create this new fragrance, and now that company is making it available to the public for the price of $49.99. It's a new perfume called Eau de Space.
Eau de space. Man, they come up with everything.
Yeah, well, they also have Eau de Luna, which is based on the smell from that.
My dog's name is Luna. And let me tell you, she stinks. And every time we smell her, we go, ooh.
Ooh, de Luna.
Ooh, it sounds like, ooh, it's Luna.
No, this is supposed to smell like the moon, according to what Apollo astronauts claimed
good.
they smelt up there on the lunar surface.
Kenny, what else do you have?
The Barbie doll is celebrating its 65th anniversary, and what better way to celebrate than with a collab with Krispy Kreme donuts?
Oh, how about that? What's the connection there?
I don't know what the connection is, but they're getting together for several Barbie-themed donuts that you can buy, I believe, right now at participating stores. The Barbie Pink Donut, the Malibu Dream Party Donut, the Barbie Berries and Cream Donut, and the Barbie Sweet 65th Donut.
I'll take the Ken, please.
Yeah, they're not making those.
I'm yours, my friend.
The Kenny cream.
I don't want that. Would pass on the Kenny cream.
Yeah, like, for instance, the Barbie Pink Donut, it's the original glazed donut, piped with pink butter cream and sprinkled with sparkly pink sugar on top.
My teeth hurt just thinking about it, but I want one so bad.
And get this. So to top off the celebration, Krispy Kreme is offering a free original glazed donut to anyone who wears pink and visits a participating store tomorrow, September 7th.
What?
Yeah, I thought we only wore pink on Wednesdays, but I mean, it's fine. I guess I can do it.
For a free donut.
Yeah,
yes.
I'll do it for sure.
Go for it. Kenny, what else do you have?
There's a new trend in parenting that we're learning about. Parents are printing out professional business cards, giving them to their kids so they can help make friends at school.
This was the idea, although I didn't fully flesh it out yet, that I was saying about that guy that I saw at the ATM who seemed very nice.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have connected with him. He just had like a cool vibe about him. That would have been perfect if I had a little business card. Hey. Well, I guess that's what adults have, right? I just don't have them. Okay, yeah.
But it would be your card with like your contact information that has nothing to do with business. That actually happened to me. I remember I told you the story. I was at a nail salon and I struck up a conversation with someone next to me. And before I walked out, they gave me their play card. Like,
That's
hey, this is my name. This is my cell. Give me a call. And it wasn't like business. It was just like, let's hang out. I'm like, okay, this is new.
Did you ever call him?
No.
Okay. Well, probably a good choice.
In a video that's gone viral, one mother whose son came home with one of these cards, it had the classmate's name, photo, their Roblox username, and parents' contact information with an invite to hang out after school.
That is cute.
Kenny, what else do you have?
We caught this article in the Huffington Post about how millennials appear to be aging slower than other generations.
Oh, I'll take it. It's good for me. Good for you?
Yeah, good for me too.
J-Bo. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely good for me.
We'll take it. Whatever. Go.
And I think they're onto something. They bring up an interesting point. So Jason Alexander, who played George Costanza in Seinfeld, was
Is he a millennial?
No, but here's my point, or their point. He was 31 years old for the first season of Seinfeld. Now, you compare his look then to 31-year-olds today, and I think they have a point. He looked much older than what we consider 31 years of age
Yeah,
today.
I thought he was older.
That sounds like some weird science to me. Who was watching Seinfeld late at night, maybe under the influence of something, who came up with that theory.
Well, we haven't gotten to the science yet. As a matter of fact, it seems that Gen Z are the ones responsible for a lot of this talk. One TikToker said, "We live in a time where millennials look way younger for their age, while Gen Zers look way older for their age." They said Gen Z is aging like spoiled milk.
Oh, come on.
According to dermatologists, maybe they're onto something. Anthony Rossi, he's a dermatologist at Memorial Sloan Kettering in New York, says millennials have definitely embraced the wisdom and mistakes from the generations before them. For instance, millennials on the whole were the first generation to embrace SPF and avoid smoking, while it appears in Gen Z, they're doing the opposite.
Well, I will say my little data point on this is I found some old movies from my family.
Yeah.
And I saw my dad, and he was like in his 20s. But he still looked like he's in his 50s, So I can
That's
understand.
a rough look.
I mean, he looked good, but like it's my dad. So I just think, oh yeah, that's my dad, who's always been way older than me.
Yeah. Well, another survey from 2023, the American Academy of Dermatology, 20% of Gen Zers believe that being tan is more important to them than protecting themselves from skin cancer, and 30 admitted that they would rather look great today with a tan, even if it means looking worse later in life. So I don't know, maybe they caught on to something here.
Kenny, what else do you have?
Well, Only Murders in the Building, episode 2, season 4 dropped today, and people can't get enough of the show, so much so that there's an Only Murders escape room in New York City.
Oh, I saw this. This popped up, was that last week?
Yeah, late last week is when it opened. Hulu partnered with the Escape Game, that's in Midtown Manhattan, for this new immersive experiences. They've decked out the place. It looks just like the Arconia, which is the apartment building featured in the show.
I've been waiting for the 4th season of the show to drop. Like I'm talking, I was counting it down and telling my husband about it. It's dropped, and I still haven't seen that one episode.
Oh, come on, J-Bo.
I've been busy. I have other things to do.
I want to talk about it, J-Bo. I've been waiting a week now.
Do not talk about it.
Okay, question about the escape room.
Yeah.
Is Steve Martin going to be there?
Probably not.
All right, then I'm definitely not going to go.
Well, they do say that you don't have to see the show to appreciate the game, but it does help because there's a lot of Easter eggs for big fans.
Kenny, what else do you have?
We're hearing from the National Retail Federation a survey, and they say college students will spend about $87 billion this year, or about $1,300 each, to decorate their dorm rooms heading into the fall semester.
Yeah, when you break it down like that, well, you need some decor, right? Pictures.
I can't imagine spending $1,300 to decorate my dorm room. I had a couple of legalized pot posters back in my day, and they didn't cost all that much money.
Yeah, but you get a mini fridge, a couple of blankets, some pillows, things like that, some curtains maybe.
Yeah, starts to add up. Yes, camera guy Josh.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty impressive dorm rooms. One person who was my neighbor in college actually had a blow-up hot tub inside his dorm room.
There's just too much of a risk of
Did
things
he
going.
use it?
Oh, yeah. Really? We all used it.
That's
Yep.
fun.
It was inflatable?
It was inflatable.
Oh.
I'm sure the RA loved that.
Yep. You never know. Keep them guessing.
Yeah, the New York Times is also reporting that some are going as far as to hiring an interior designer for their dorm rooms.
Nah,
And
fam.
some are spending up to $10,000 on that.
You don't need an interior designer to design your dorm room. Get on Pinterest, get on TikTok, and put together something.
Yeah, I mean, they're charging enough at the school.
Yeah.
You need every penny you can for that. Kenny,
right.
what else do you have?
Well, it's past Labor Day, so is it officially spooky season?
Well, I guess if
so.
you go to your local pharmacy, yes.
Well, we're learning about these pop-up bars that are popping up across all of the United States and Canada. It's called the Black Lagoon. It's described as an immersive, creepy as heck cocktail experience.
Aren't most bars that way anyway?
Depends on which one you go to.
I mean, do we really need to make it more creepy?
I don't know. These ones will have skeletons, life-size coffins. You could take a selfie inside of an illuminated skull. They feature specialty drinks that look like some kind of green witch's brew, or even a non-alcoholic drink that looks like blood.
I remember going to a pop-up bar it was Christmas theme, and it was packed. Like I couldn't get a table. So I can only imagine how packed these pop-up bars for Halloween are going to be.
Well, that doesn't work because, if Santa's watching, you're not going to drink as much as you normally would. So the bar is not really...
Good
Santa's
point.
a hard worker. He may understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but they're all over the place. There's one in Brooklyn. They're taking over the Someday Bar. Down in St. Augustine, Florida, they're taking over Forgotten Tonic. And most of these bars are going to open up on October 1st.
Good.
Yeah.
If you're into that.
Have
Kenny,
some fun.
what else do you have?
About 10,000 hotel workers have gone on strike after months of failed negotiations. The workers are represented by the union Unite Here. They say they deserve better wages, fairer staffing, and better workloads.
Oh, I thought they were fighting on behalf of the customers, whether you can take the extra bar of soap that hasn't been opened yet. Because
You don't?
Well, I
Don't come for me. Don't bill me because I have.
I go back and forth on that. Is it ours if we don't use it?
Now, I think this goes back to the fact that during the pandemic, a lot of hotel workers were laid off. And now that tourism is back and booming, they feel like they're understaffed and they're working these long hours and they're not getting paid for it. So the hotels haven't caught up to the new way of life, at least according to the union workers.
Yeah, we rarely see it go in reverse, right? If they can figure it out with fewer people, don't a lot of companies tend to figure it out with fewer, or they try to figure it out? Not the best for the people.
I feel like a hotel shouldn't be one of those companies that you skim on, who's taking care of the rooms and clean the sheets and things like that. Like, you want those areas to be clean.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very important. Kenny, what else do you have?
Well, there are some recent scientific discoveries about 900 miles off the coast of Chile on an underwater mountain that they say is 2 miles big. They discovered at least 20 new species in this pristine underwater ecosystem.
Isn't it so cool that there's just an underwater mountain?
Oh, there's so many things underwater we haven't even discovered. I can't wait.
Yeah. Was it at some point not below water? Huh?
Good question.
What?
Well, the point is it's now underwater.
Yes. And I love that they're constantly discovering. There's too much going on this planet alone. We're constantly finding new cool little creatures.
Yeah, and it took new technology to find this. They have this state-of-the-art research vessel, which is called Sebastian. Sebastian is what helped us find these new shrimp and urchins. And they say more species are likely to be discovered now that they know where this is.
Excellent. Kenny, what else do you have?
TJ, anytime I discover a new viral bear video, you're the first person I want to tell.
Yeah, it's the funniest animal on the internet. Every animal has its own place on the internet, but bears seem to steal the show more often than not.
The funniest animal on the internet, you said it, because I do not want to be face to face with a bear ever.
Yeah, it's a very important distinction.
Ever.
In person, not so funny.
Right.
But from a distance,
Super
through your
cute,
phone,
super
adorable,
cute. Yes.
hilarious.
And this guy, Jeffrey, was from a safe distance videotaping this at a New Hampshire parking lot where a bear could be seen climbing into a parked car through a damaged window and stealing a bag of potato chips.
Yeah, I wish they had the part where he takes his big paw and slams it through the window. Pretty funny if it's not your car.
Yeah, so he didn't have to break the window in this particular case. This window was already damaged, and they had like plastic
from
wrap
another bear.
and tape.
No, I'm kidding. No, another bear. That's a joke. That's a joke.
We're speculating. It very well could be true, but I think the bear was like, "This is just too easy," and then just ripped through that plastic, grabbed the potato chips, and then went back and rejoined its 3 cubs.
Yeah. My favorite bear video still, even though this one's good, is when the bear climbs in through the window of someone's house and uses the freezer almost as a step stool, pulls out a frozen dinner, rips it open aggressively, because bears do everything aggressively, and then leaves. And it was just sloppy and great.
Yeah, my favorite's the bear that goes to the convenience store. Walks through the door, grabs a bag of chips, and then leaves.
Time and time again.
Yeah, most famous bears, that one right there. And they let him come in because who's going to tell him no?
Right.
You don't want to know what's going to happen if you say no to him. Kenny, what else do you have?
In other animal-related news, more of those special pizza box trash cans have been installed in New York City. We talked about this when they installed the first receptacle. So now they're in all 5 boroughs at different parks. And one article says score 1 for the humans in the war versus the rats. And then another article is claiming that most New Yorkers are ignoring these special pizza box trash cans.
Well, it's like when they have the recycling bin at the gas station and it's a little further away than the normal trash bin. I see people what they do. They just go with the trash bin that's closest to them. Yeah. And you could tell people to separate things all you want.
Or in the airport, sometimes they have a bin for trash and a bin for recycle. I've found myself standing there and I'm like, what is it? Is it recycle or trash? Well, it's trash today. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think one of the most confusing recycling questions is what do you do with a pizza box? Because you hear from recycle experts that say you can't recycle them because of the grease. And it's like, well,
But I read an article that said you can.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, it's very confusing.
Well, this specifically has to do with people jamming in pizza boxes into regular garbage cans,
Yep.
which then forces garbage to just overflow, which attracts rats. So they're hoping that these special receptacles will keep the rats away. We'll see exactly how it works out, but a New York Post reporter said that he was standing there for 10 minutes, watched 3 different pizza eaters just walk past the box and put it
Yeah.
in the regular trash can.
Yeah, of course. I get into that same trouble at home. When we order a pizza, I try to stuff it into our kitchen garbage. And then even if it's a
No.
brand new bag, it fills up in like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Take it outside.
My wife, Jess, what are you doing? What? Sorry. I mean, if you can't recycle it, I don't know if you can recycle it.
That or break the box down.
Yeah, well, that's a
You know
lot of
what I
work,
mean? Tear it
J-Bo.
up.
Now
Well,
you're
it
asking
is.
for a lot.
Well, you're at home. You got time.
Yeah. Kenny, thank you for keeping us somewhat informed.
That's what's happening.